What's going on, everyone? It's time to talk about another sci-fi action adventure film. Today we're going to be talking about Final Encounter, or as it's also known as, For the Cause. That's what it was released as, and then when it came out to DVD and VHS and all that fun stuff, they changed it to Final Encounter for some reason. But yeah, it was released by Dimension Films, November 16th, 2000. Stars Dean Cain and Thomas Ian Griffith. It's produced by Kia Jum and written by David March Douglas and Christopher Slakeser. And it was directed by Tim Douglas and David Douglas. Now, Tim Douglas has done a few films such as Surviving Family, All Dark Places, and Fake ID. And David Douglas has only done one other film besides this, and that's Submarines. And it's had a budget of $2.5 million. So in this film, it's a futuristic sci-fi thing. It's almost like sort of like the Hunger Games, but made like 10, 15 years prior to the Hunger Games coming out. Uh, yeah, so basically there's two factions and they're fighting each other for control. And yeah, this is where like most adults are gone. So like 20-year-olds and teens and young kids have to fight and do it. So the first half of them is some like training some of the younger kids to fight in this into gain control. But in the midst of this, some weird robotic alien race is trying to take over too, and they have to come together and fight them off to help save the human race and in all its glory. So yeah, it's a very ambitious film for what it was. I like the cinematography was pretty good. The sets were pretty interesting and stuff, and the acting wasn't too bad. This film bogs down quite a bit with the pacing though, and it's a very slow first half, and yeah, a lot of random exposition that doesn't really go anywhere. It's just sort of like to build up the characters a bit, but it doesn't do much for that character and stuff. There's some good action sequences and some interesting like fight scenes. This is vintage CG in this film, so obviously it's not the best looking. It's a little cartoony, but it's definitely something different, which I liked. The fight scene kind of reminded me as sort of like the Forbidden Planet climax. That's what this one sort of looked like in a way, but more like a PS2 game or maybe even a PS1 game type graphics with it. But yeah, yeah. So that was like interesting and amusing to watch. But for the most part of this film, it's just it does the ultimate sin and is just boring. It takes so long for something to happen, and once it does, it's very little payoff, and that's like the ultimate sin these type of films can do. And it doesn't give me much to talk about because it's just boring exposition to some mediocre fighting and CG, and you eventually see it. There's a couple hints to it throughout the film, which is was a little bit interesting to see, but that's just sprinkled here and there. And yeah, this film is it's not the greatest thing, but it's definitely something a little unique. It's something you definitely wouldn't see these days. And I like the costumes and everything like that. And it seems like they had a good concept. They just kind of stalled out and didn't know how to bring it to the big thing. I could see like the bigger picture that they're probably trying to get to, but they definitely didn't hit the mark. And I think this one was a major flop, anyways, because it's on a lot of those 10 sci-fi movies you could get for like $2 from Echo Bridge and stuff. That's where I found it. And yeah, but for the most part, the second half was a little bit better than the first half, but it definitely gives me some. It's almost like Dinotopia, that film, where there's sort of like some people in a land that they're not really familiar with, and then they go and help and eventually fight for the cause. So yeah, yeah, this film is definitely not going to be super suitable for everyone. If you like slow-paced sci-fi and stuff with like not a whole lot going on, but like a good, like somewhat immersive story, you might find this one a little bit interesting. But if you're looking for like the Terminator style sci-fi, this definitely isn't for you. But overall, it's not that bad, but it's definitely not the best. So I'm going to give this one a rating right down the middle of a 2.5 because I think that's fair for where it's at. I've definitely seen way worse and way more boring sci-fi films than this, but this is definite, but it definitely doesn't exceed a higher ranking, I think, anyways. So yeah. So if you want to definitely if you're into like slow burn sci-fi films, you might find this one interesting. The Final Encounter, or also known as For the Cause. So definitely check it out if you want. There's a trailer down below if it sounds like something you might be interested in. It's always linked down below. So yeah, check out there. Also, while you're down there, make sure you check out my Instagram where I always post clips of films I'm going to review in the future. All my stories, I have the film title and a hashtag and subgenre of film in the hashtag, and put it in the video clip. Or you can also follow me on Letterbox at Derek P Reviews. Yeah, so that's all down below. So make sure you follow me on one of those to stay in the loop. Make sure you like this video, share so more people are aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below. Let me know your thoughts on it. I'd love to hear what you thought of it. If you have any films at all that you want to hear my opinions on in the future, comment those down below. I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can. Yeah, and make sure you subscribe because you never really know what I'm going to talk about next. So yeah, it's nearing the end of October, but I definitely got a couple more sci-fi and horror stuff to come out. So yeah, hopefully I can help you find something weird and obscure and something interesting to watch sometime in the future. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully this is an interesting film for you. If not, there's probably gonna be more coming up. So definitely, subscribe, and I guess watch out for all those alien races that are coming down and trying to take over our world, and hopefully you and your kids don't have to fight them. And I guess I'll see you all in the next review. So till then, cheers.